Okay, guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So, you know, uh, you know what it means to be sleepwalking. It's like when you're asleep, but you're standing on your feet and you're walking. Like in the movies. I don't know if it happened to any of you. Never happened to me. Hope it never will. But you know what I mean. Like you're walking, but you're actually asleep. This is what happens to most of us. Happens to me as well. And I mean by that, and by that I mean we're doing certain things, certain action, without really thinking. It almost feel like we're asleep. We are in a, we are in some sort of trance, and we're just walking. And by walking, I mean taking action towards a certain goal, towards a certain outcome. But they're like, well, walking in the same direction, same way that leads nowhere. That it does not lead to the outcome we're seeking. We haven't stopped and thought about what we're doing or evaluate. We do it frequently, but we're really not really doing it because it does not, it takes more than once. It takes constant reevaluation of your actions to see if you're going in the right direction or not. Okay. So most of us, we go into a phase where we're just doing things, and we have a certain result in our head. We have that goal. We understood the law of vibration. We understood the law of our mind and how to create the creative process, how to put an idea in our head and vibrate in the same frequency as that goal that we have, as that idea. And by that, we put the law of vibration to work in our favor. And by the law of attraction, we start attracting stuff that help us reach that goal if we stay in that correct vibration. But we understood that, but we're not really doing it, because we're sleepwalking. We start engaging in certain actions, and and we get sucked in. We get sucked in into the actions, into the mechanics of things, and how to do things, and uh, and 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 sometimes we find ourselves just repeating the same things over and over and over again, and and we're not getting the result we want. We're not getting closer, and the problem is that we haven't stopped and thought about what we're doing. We haven't stopped and took time to analyze, to come up with new ideas that you might find very, very simple. Um, Sometimes you find that you have tools that you haven't used yet, tools available to you, but you haven't used yet, and but they're there. They're there. If you just stop your sleepwalk and just take a moment, wake up, and like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Is this the best I can do? Can I do this in a different way? Okay, and we don't do that sometimes. Okay, we don't do. We just keep doing the same thing, trapped, and the same sort of results. Okay, and the thing is, action is important. Okay, action is important. We need to take a lot of massive action, as Tony Robbins say. We need to take a lot of action towards our goal. We need to be working. You need to work your ass off, and and try to do your best. That's obvious. But action, there's two types of action. There's there's the type of action that you do with your body. It's like the work you do. This is the strategies that you apply. This is the mechanics of doing things. This is the way you do things. Okay, this is what you do. What do you do? Do you create content for your business? If it's about reaching health fitness goal, is it you're on a diet? You work out 3 times, 4 times a week. You drink water. What do you do? What is the thing that you do? You know, do you calculate your macros? If it's building a relationship, do you go and say hi to people that seem interesting? This is like the kind of strategies that you will implement in order to reach that goal. Okay, but this is just one type of action. This is the strategy. But the other type of action, there is an internal action that has to happen. There is an internal action that that you guys forget about. There is an internal action that you guys forget about. And it's very, very important. Okay? Most of us, we focus on that action. I mean, most of us, we focus on the physical action. What do we do? How do we do this? What should I use? What should I eat? What should I eat? What should I say? You know, the mechanics. And that's fine. That's action, and it's necessary, okay? And you need to do a lot of it. But there is another type of action that we forget, or we neglect, or we are unaware of, which is an internal type of action, okay? Internal type of action. And that has to do with your thinking. That has to do with the ideas that you are entertaining most of the time. That's your rhetoric. That's your perception of what's going on. For example, when you're taking a certain type of action and it's not bringing you closer to your goal, sometimes you focus on, oh shit, this is not working. You focus on why this is not working. What's wrong with this? This is wrong. You focus on the obstacle. You focus on what's on the adversity. You focus on why this action is not working. You know, your focus is on the strategy. Okay? And because you're doing that, your internal dialogue is, this is not working for me and I'm frustrated. This is your internal dialogue in the moment, most of the day. This is not working for me. I don't see the result. Why is this not working for me? I'm getting frustrated. You know? This is your internal dialogue. And this internal dialogue will stop you from seeing what has to be done. Will stop you from discovering new ways because you're stuck. Your vision is on why this is not working. And this is what I mean by sleepwalking. You're forcing it. You're focused on why it's not working and you keep repeating it, and in the same way, or maybe in a worse way, or in a way that's not good, and it doesn't work. You don't get the result. You don't get to the result you want. Okay? Internal action. Our internal action has to be aligned with our external action. So we said internal action is the thinking, the type of thinking you're doing. Okay? But before the type of thinking that you're doing, that you're engaged in, your perception, before that, there's something else. There is your state of vibration. Okay? Your state of vibration is your emotional state, basically. It is your emotional state. When you're frustrated, do you think you're going to see solutions? Or do you think you're going to make the problem bigger? When you feel stuck, do you have faith in that moment, or you're doubtful? Your state is very, very important. Your state will affect your internal dialogue. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. Imagine you wake up and you're sore. Your body is sore, or maybe you're injured and you can't do the activities that you enjoy doing. And because of that, you don't feel so good. And because of that, you kind of feel angry. You're not that patient in those days where you feel the pain, you're injured and you're trying to deal with it. You know, don't you? Have you never experienced this? Or when something is bothering you, you don't have the same personality in that moment. That's your state. When your state changes, your perception changes, your ideas change as well. If you're in a great positive state, a hopeful, joyful state, you're happy. Nothing bothers you in that moment. You're chilling. You have creative ideas. You're getting along with everybody. You don't fight with your spouse. That's because your state dictates and affects your internal dialogue, your ideas, your focus on, and that's why you take a different type of action. You react a different way. You see things in a different way. So we need to take care of our internal action, our state of vibration, our state of emotion, and our internal dialogue, the ideas, the story we tell ourselves, what we focus on. If we work on these two things, soon enough we will find ourselves in a mental space where we can look at what we're doing and we can actually modify it or improve on it. Okay? But if we stay stuck into that why it's not working, and if we focus only on the strategy and why the strategy is not working and the mechanics of doing things, and we try to fight that, battle without taking care of the internal action, we're going to stay stuck. We're going to sleepwalk until we wake up at some point. Maybe this video will wake you up. Okay, this is an idea that is going to help you and your journey towards your goal. It could be any goal. Okay, I mean, I talk with people and I know that a lot of people, for example, don't get fit or don't get healthier, not because they don't understand the importance of training, not because they don't understand the importance of taking care of their physique. They want to do that, but they are in this mental state of sleepwalking where they can not see the right strategy. They see what they're doing at the moment. They see that they don't have time. They have responsibility, kids, job, business, whatever, and they see that they have no time, no energy for it, and they just keep rehearsing this narrative. Maybe they go for a walk once in a while and they pretend that's something that's going to get them closer to the goal, or at least they say, I'm doing something. But of course, it's not going to get them to where they want to get to. It's not going to get them closer to their goal. And the problem is not, as I said, it's not that they don't understand the importance of training, but they can't see a way out. They can't figure out another strategy. Okay? And that's why they stay stuck. And they will only be able to see another strategy, another course of action, if they take care of the internal action, which is changing their state of mind, okay? And changing the narrative, changing the story that they're telling themselves. Maybe the guy is telling himself, I'm stuck. I can't do more than this. I don't have no time. I have zero time. You see this, people repeating this. I have no time. I don't have time. I don't have time. The most successful people on the planet have the same time as you and I have, okay? There is no difference. How come they are running several companies, and have hundreds of employees, and they have a family, but they're still taking care of their physique? How come they're able to do it, but you're not? It's because you can't see a way out, and you can't see a way out because maybe part of it is your laziness, but another part of it is that you're not in a state that allows you to come up with a new strategy. You haven't done work on your internal action, your state, and your perception, the story you're telling themselves. So the story you're telling yourself. So first of all, stop saying that you don't have time, because you will find time. Okay, you will find a way to get time. Okay, when you're in a positive, healthy state. Okay, and you need to learn how to do that as well. I've just given an example with fitness because it's easy. Okay, everybody understands this. Same thing could be happening in your business. Okay, you're trying to get new clients, you're trying to grow your business, but you're applying a certain strategy that's not great, and you're stuck in the same loop, and you can't figure a new way because you're not in a state that allows you to come up with new ways, and you'll have a story that is stopping you from moving forward. So that internal action, you need to take care of that. It is action as well. Okay, that internal work, it's not BS. Okay, it's not fairy tales, stories. It's not. It's work. It's action. It's internal action, and then there is the external action. So this is the idea I wanted to leave you today with: is that there is internal action, there is external action, and we need to take care of both. Okay, and don't stay stuck. Like don't get rigid, and know that there is always a better way of doing things. There is always a better way. Sometimes it's just around the corner. Sometimes it's something that you already have. You just need to use it in a different way. Okay. Um, it's I don't know. I hope it's clear. For me, it's so obvious, and it's a big lesson that I've learned, and I'm sure it's gonna make a big difference in your performance if you learn it and apply it. Um, that's it. This is the video. You guys, if you have an idea about a video that you want me to make, you want me to talk about something, let me know in the comments. Yeah, follow my IG. I share daily thoughts, daily reflection on my stories to keep you on track, to keep you motivated towards your goal, whether it's getting in shape, whether it's breaking your mental barriers, whether it's gaining confidence and building great relationships, whether it's finding your purpose, getting rid of your addictions and vices. I help people with all this. If you guys have a question, or you're interested in my coaching, if you want me to help you, leave a comment, or I'm gonna leave a link here to WhatsApp, and you can just text me on WhatsApp. If not, keep enjoying the videos. I'm gonna keep bringing value here through my IG and through my YouTube videos, and hope you benefit from it, and you reach your goals, guys. Okay, see you in the next one. Peace.